Hello and welcome to Gamer Social. My name is Matthew and I'm here and let's fly the PMDG 737-800. And in the last episode we did our pre-flight, we got our aircraft ready, we're now pushed back and we're ready to go. We've been given the birdie from this guy, he's still actually giving it to us, but there we go. How about that? So now we are actually ready to begin moving. So let's start off by lowering the flaps. You may have heard it there, I actually have it set into the command on my joystick. So the flaps are set to 5. We're going to release the parking brake and we are going to get ourselves moving away. So, so gently push the thrusters forwards and everything should be all good. So we are still heading towards runway 26 left. I haven't heard anything different yet in regards to what runway is available because the weather hasn't yet updated for the past 25 minutes. So I'm going on the assumption, just pull back the speed a little bit. I'm going on the assumption that the weather is still okay to take off from that runway, so we'll soon find out I suppose, and see what actually happens. Let's just watch our speed a little bit, don't want to go too crazy. And there are those two Thompson aircraft, not quite sure what aircraft they are, look like a 757, maybe 767, who knows, not to worry. Let's just slow my aircraft down just a tad. I'm having a little bit of a speedy moment, which is not the best thing to do in the world on a maintenance flight, but never mind, not to worry. Let's just make sure there's nothing to my right, and there's not. Oh, helps if I turn though. Not to worry, there we go, it's perfectly fine. So I'm going to pass some other aircraft here. They are static aircraft, they will never move. Or at least I don't think they do. I hope they do. That would probably make me a little bit worried if they start moving. Let's adjust my map here. I prefer having it on 5 when I take off, just so I can see exactly what's going on, because you usually have quite a lot of movements to start with. So we're doing just fine though. Not a problem at all. So I'm planning to fly this aircraft out myself and activate the autopilot whenever I feel like it, to be honest. Hopefully this will be a successful plan, but who knows? Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah, never really know. So, bit of a journey going down here. Bit of a long way to go, but never mind. I think it's all these other aircraft are all parked up, enjoying the sun. There's a few clouds dotted around, so we should get above those pretty speedy. Really, it's not going to be much in our way. It's nice and warm, it's 21 degrees. Any update on the weather yet? Because I don't really want to get there and it tells me the wind direction has changed, so I have to turn around, because that wouldn't be very funny at all, to be honest. But never mind, eh? Never mind. So it's quite a speedy pre-flight. Usually it lasts a little bit longer than that. I did some things faster than what would usually be done in a real world operation. I did skip some items as well, part of the pre-flight. I also didn't do any checklists, because this is just a maintenance flight. I haven't done that, but I will do when we go into proper flights and stuff, doing destination, point A to point B. I'll start doing things the proper way and trying to match the real world operations as much as possible. But this is just the beginning, and this was good enough. And lovely Virgin Atlantic 747 there, parked on the left hand side. Pretty awesome, and we're going a little bit speedy. We're not speeding though, we might be, I don't know. I think ground speed limit is 30, but I could be mistaken, up to 20. Who knows? Let's just pretend it didn't happen. So, whilst that's going in a straight line, he says, I'm going to turn on my TCAS to what it should be. I'm also going to activate VNAV and LNAV. Just in preparation from when I decide to activate the autopilot, it can take over and do its thing. So we're approaching the south terminal now, as you can see in front of you. The bit you can see with all the planes is actually closed, I believe, at London Gatwick at the moment. It's being refurbished or whatever. Something's going on. Let's just turn down here onto AM taxiway, whatever it's called, and head down this way. So, a bit of a dark cloud up ahead. Look at that. That looks like it might have a few raindrops. Runway ahead. Really? And this is our runway. It is, crikey, we're here. Alright. Let's just get our landing lights turned on. So we're ready. And what we will also do is set this to continuous and flip that over to the other side. Just so we are nicely ready. And we're going to taxi into position and prepare for takeoff. I'll check the weather one more time. And no further updates yet either, so this is where we're going to be taking off. So let's position up and stop. Usually I kind of just crack on and go, to be honest, but I'm actually going to stop the aircraft here. The aircraft should be nice and light, so we're pretty much straight out on the centre line, which is good. So let's just do a final check of everything, making sure all is well. And there's no lights illuminated here. These always seem to happen. I don't know what the problem is, but it does anyway. Hey ho, let's just say sit the hell down to the people we don't have in the back of our plane. And let's go to program. There we go, it's all good there. I think we're ready. So we've got 10 minutes of taxi. So let's just use a bit of a sit back position, you know, so I can see what the hell I'm doing. I know one thing I haven't done. I haven't trimmed the aircraft. So it's 4.66. It's hard to see that. I'm gonna guess it's there, but I don't really know. Not to worry. I don't think it's down on here either, is it? It might be. Let's just get that out of the way there. Here we go then. I am ready. Are you ready? So let's put my thrusters forwards to about 40-50% N1. Like so. Stabilized. And go. Let's do this. This is our first flight. This should be interesting. So easy way to keep it on centre line is just look at the very end of the runway and just focus on the very faint line you can see and just make very minor adjustments and all should be well.
V1 rotate.
And we're rotating.
V2.
Kind of. Come on then plane, pull yourself up. Here we go. Positive rate, gear up. Try and keep on the magenta line here. Like so. Zoom in a little bit so I can see the primary flight display a little bit clearer. Turn the aircraft slightly, we're going ever so slightly off course. And our plane is now being pushed down so it can accelerate and we'll be bringing the flaps in. And I've done a little bit off course ever so slightly, so bringing the first level of flaps up. Like so. And the second level of flaps as well. And a little bit higher, there we are, not bad at all. Pretty good. I'm just focusing on that magenta line just to keep the aircraft where it needs to be. And when we get to 4,000 feet, I'm going to activate the autopilot. And there we go. We are there. Autopilot is now in charge of the aircraft. I think that's not a bad takeoff actually, controlling that. We're relatively on line. We have got a headwind, so it was the right one to take off from. As you can see, the scenery is absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So the scenery is FTX Global plus Vector from Full Terrain, as well as FS Global 2010 for the mesh. I'm also using, as you saw in an earlier video, Active Sky next for the weather generation. And I use Rex 4 textures to control the clouds and all that wonderful stuff, as well as the sea as well. So you'll see the sea is out to our side, all the way over there. It's a little bit in the distance. Never mind. So yes, and I am also using UK 2000 scenery for Gatwick Airport. So tons of scenery on here to make it look as best as it can do. It really does put a lot of pressure on your system, but it copes. It just about copes. And that is the main thing. So we're going to be staying at 4,000 feet for a little bit. I can override it if I want to, but for now I'm going to let the FMC do all the believes it needs to follow the flight plan correctly. If I look at my chart as well, we need to be at 4,000 when we get to Midhurst. which is just coming up now, I believe. It's no, it's not. We're doing our first turn. What are we? Mid-8, yes. Mid-8, we need to be... There we go. So we're heading towards mid-Hurst now, and we need to be at 4,000. So we've already done that, so that was pretty easy. We're doing our first turn now. So we should be on... I don't know, what are we on now? Came out 259. I'm not quite sure. 244 is should be our thing. So we'll adjust this as well. It's always good practice to adjust the heading as you turn on your flight plan, just so you just kind of follow it along really, and do what needs to be done. That is the way. So we're doing perfectly fine at the moment, not a single problem at all. So it looks like we're going to be heading out towards the sea. It is getting closer, as you can see. It's only over there. Do I have other... Here we go, that's much better. Oh, that. That's a nice view. And all the scenery below looks amazing. I think it looks really realistic. Oh, one thing I am using actually, for England, I'm using the Full Terrain England add-on. The FTX Global Plus Vector is for the rest of the world. But for actually England, it's got the England add-on as well, making it look even better. Which I think is just amazing. So we're doing a turn again shortly, back onto a heading of 259 degrees, which was the original takeoff heading we had from the airport. So we kind of just do a little bit of a sidestep turn. Pretty get out of the way of any incoming traffic that's trying to land on that direction as well. It just puts us alongside, I suppose. That might not be the reason at all, I might be talking crap, but let's turn our landing gear off. We can turn our auto brace off. So turning onto a heading of 259, let's keep that with it, there we go. Magic. I wonder if the weather has updated, Jay, you never know. Yeah, it has. And 26 left is still the way to go. So at least we did pick the right runway, which I thought we did, to be honest. I thought we'd be picking the right runway. So that is always good news. So anything else for us to do, these can now go off because they're no longer needed. Landing lights I usually keep on to 6,000 feet, to be honest. So I am going to leave those where they are for now. So we will be... We're not doing much more actually, we're already at our altitude for the rest of this flight plan. So I think what I'm going to do is override it. Level change at 230 please. So I'm going to override it now and start to get up to our cruising altitude. Just because, you know, there's no point staying at this low altitude. You know, in real life we would ask for clearance to go up, and we can pretend we've been given that clearance. So hopefully our aircraft doesn't go too mental with speed, because we want to stay below 250 under 10,000. And we're doing that. So that's why I set the 230 in the FMC, just give us that 20 knot leeway really, and that seems to be helping out a lot, which is splendid news. And there is the sea. There's not a lot of clouds around actually, we're pretty much in open space. So we're heading towards our, oh, we have actually just gone past transition altitude, so we're now on standard. We can now turn off all this good stuff as well. Boom. Magic, up we go then. Let's get the hell out of here. And then we can have a little bit of a fly around and see what needs to be done to get back to the airport. Yeah. It is a pretty short flight, I'm not sure how we're doing for fuel. We got quite a bit, but hopefully when we come back around and land, it will start easing away at this amount of fuel, and that should be fine actually. We shouldn't be over that limit at all. So that's not a problem. So the top of climb is a little way away yet. So I might start skipping ahead here and there, just to jump to the more interesting elements, rather than just making you watch a plane climb through the sky for hours on end. So that might happen every now and then, but I'll only skip the bits that are of little interest really. So what I've just done is increase our speed. Because we are over 10,000 feet, we can now go a little bit faster. So hopefully this will kick itself in the gear. I don't know if it will or not, but yeah, it is. We're now living off a little bit so we can actually pick up our speed, and we are almost at the end of our flight plan. It won't be long until we start flying all by ourselves. But that's fine because we have our heading set. So set the 260, thing is that's what we seem to be doing. I'll have that set there just so it's all ready. As you can see, it's very nice looking scenery ahead of us. We are heading towards the southwest of England at the moment, which is where I'm from. We won't be quite going down that far. We're turning around shortly to head back to London Gatwick after this wonderful test flight. Because it was always good fun. Always good fun. So what I will do, once we come to the end of our flight plan, I will prepare to set it up for our return journey. And I think I remember what we were going to do. Was it an Astra? It was an Astra arrival, yes. This got the chart up on my secondary computer, just so I can see what exactly we'll be doing. So we can probably go faster again. What is wrong with the FMC? Oh, I know why. It's because we just left that flight plan. So that is fine. Let's go to 320 to speed up some more. Why not? So it's going to be the Astra 4C arrival take-in. So we'll start to do that shortly. So what I am going to do at the moment is do a head and turn of 220. Boom, head and select please. Get turning. Let's make our way over here and see what needs to be done. That is quite a steep ass turn. Does it have to be that much? Yeah, that's better. Let's gradually do the turn. I don't want to turn too steep. A bit horrific. There we go. Just so it was a bit more relaxing for the people that are on this aircraft, even though there's only a few of us. And I don't like what it does here, where it transitions between sort of coast sea and ocean sea. It looks stupid, but it is what it is. It's a draw distance thing, basically. It's just kind of rubbish. There we go. Passes one of the limitations from Flight Sim. There's not a lot we can really do about that. But as you can see down here, it's looking pretty amazing. And over this side, whatever the hell's over there. Towards the north of England, I believe. So let's have a look-see down here, and I know it's the end of the route, and prepare our arrival. So again, it's going to be 26 left, and we are using the Astra transition, and we'll be using Astra 4C. Boom. Route it, activate it. I can do it there. Boom. So if we zoom out a little bit, we'll see it's going to spin all the way around, do all of this magical crap. So we can begin to do that, and if we set this and this, or our heading select apparently, so we want to be heading down to here. It doesn't want to do LNAV at the moment, but that's just fine. Is there a problem with it? No destination path after GWC. So what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Let's go on to our legs page. Oh, that's fine. There is no problem whatsoever. Now once the aircraft slow down. Amazing. So let us prepare. And it is going to be 26 left we need to land at. Oh, let's just get that on my old computer so I can see what is going on. So London Gatwick. What am I looking for? What do I need to see? So what I'm going to do is set up everything we need on here for our landing. So I'm going to do a FRAPS 40 landing, and that's pretty much all we got to do. I think I'm not quite sure why it doesn't want to do the LNAV. But hey ho, I'm not quite sure what its problem is on that. Never mind. Maybe it will sort itself out. Well, that is all we have time for in this episode. I will see you in the next one as we begin our descent. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you then.